it's really awesome to have you here, and I'm really excited to learn what you guys are doing. And now, before we get into the project's information, or learning about the project, I want to know more about you. What's your background? How did you arrive in Web3, and what made you start, or what was the vision behind founding Tax 223?
Okay, very interesting question. So basically, me personally, I'm EOS support from EOS support. We are partnering with DEX 223, right? But DEX 223 has a very unique vision. Basically, the primary drive to launch this project was to establish a DEX that upholds the fundamental principles and original ideas of blockchain. P2P networks, decentralized finance as it's meant to be. The aim is to provide a trading environment where all individuals can engage without any external interference or KYC, and also allowing developers to list their tokens free from centralized control. So DEX 223 was envisioned and is being built by 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀, who is a famous anonymous developer. He founded the Ethereum Classic Core development team in 2016. And basically, he has a lot of background in the security space and is a true OG. So yeah, very experienced in Web3, blockchain, and here from the beginning, basically.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I hear anything permissionless, I am excited about it anyway. But yeah, what you guys are doing is really fantastic. Now, so you actually talked about what problem you are solving, but let's dive a bit deep into it. So, what's the specific problem that you guys are solving within the cryptocurrency exchange ecosystem, and particularly concerning around ERC-223 and ERC-20 tokens?
Interesting question. So there's of course the main issue. Basically, the name DEX 223 suggested already. 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀 was basically looking for a secure token standard because ERC-20 has several problems. So DEX 223 is a platform which integrates this ERC-223 standard alongside the ERC-20, so people can actually choose what to use. In brief, it's a much securer, much more efficient way of transacting, and it levels the way for the encapsulated margin trading also with ERC-223. Moreover, another really important issue DEX 223 is tackling is it levels the playing field for the token developers. So allowing also them to list any token in a decentralized way without any centralized entity controlling the listing process, which is still a big problem with many other exchanges, also decentralized exchanges, where they face huge hurdles and high listing fees and so on.
Yeah, awesome. So now, while I was asking you that question, one thing that I realized was not many people over here would know what ERC-223 token. So can you please, educate us on that? What are ERC-223 tokens, and what do they do?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So basically, ERC-223 standard was invented, as I said before, by 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀 in 2017 already to solve the security and efficiency issues of ERC-20, the most common token standard in the world, basically. It's used in the biggest ecosystem. And it's crazy if you think about it, how many problems it has, and that the solution is there already for a long time. So maybe a bit background of the problems of ERC-20. So the ERC20 standards implements two methods of transacting tokens. No? One is designed for address-to-address transfers, another one is designed for contract deposits. Both methods do not implement an error handling mechanism, which is a major security flaw. So it does not let the receiver recognize an incoming transaction. So the main problem with ERC20 is it lacks of this communication model, a transaction handling model. So the ERC20 tokens can be sent to a contract, which is not designed to receive tokens. But if the tokens are sent anyway and get stuck in the contract, like a user mistake, basically, they get stuck there. No, this wouldn't work with Ether, NFTs also, and ERC223 tokens. You have to know that the most common NFT standard, 721, is also based on the ERC223 token standard. No? This is also very interesting. So it's already there. No? It's in NFTs, it's used already because it's highly secure and it works. So the tokens which are stuck in these contracts, which are not designed to receive the ERC20 tokens, they are there forever. They are lost. And now I think we reached staggering $200 million worth of ERC20 tokens who are lost. This is a problem ERC223 solves because it wouldn't be possible to send the tokens there. This problem is, of course, well known and the solution exists already. But still, the main entities do not want to change it for whatever reasons. The second significant problem with ERC20 tokens is it can put the user's funds at risk by authorizing the DEX contracts to operate funds on users' behalf. So ERC20 tokens can't be directly deposited to smart contracts. An approval must be issued first, right? Approval and swap. These are these two transactions which ERC20 needs. ERC223 uses only one transaction. So in order to reduce the gas cost and improve user experience, the DEXs suggests that the user issues an unlimited approval once and let it stay to avoid issuing it next time, right? So by issuing this approval, the user basically authorizes the contract to do anything with the funds on the user's behalf. And if the contract gets hacked 15 years later, the user will get their ERC20 wallets drained. This is a very big problem. The ERC223 tokens instead can be swapped without approvals. The user has full control over their ERC223 tokens at any moment. No third party is authorized to make transfers on a user's behalf. And the third significant shortcoming of the ERC20 token, and it brings us to the efficiency, is if you want the ERC20 token for another token, you need to send these two transactions. No, it's two transactions, not one transaction. So this means there's a transaction more, which means you need more gas, basically. So ERC223 in average saves about 15% of gas. This is very significant on Ethereum, where the gas fees, as you know, can be very substantial. No? So, of course, we know ERC20 is very popular. It's the most used token standard in crypto, and many entities benefit from it. No? It's quite challenging to convince them to change to the more secure and efficient standard. Dexeran has tried this for many years, and you can also do your own research on that, starting from our website, where we provide all the links and documentation, also to GitHub, all the discussions there. Now, since nothing happened, basically Dexeran decided to build his own DEX, no? DEX223, which promises to integrate this ERC223 standard, and alongside other unique features, of course. We will talk about this a little bit later. And yeah, we believe that over time, the secure and more efficient standard, of course, will prevail. While in the beginning, ERC20 tokens and ERC223 will coexist. no, like the horse and the car. Maybe that's an example. So there's plenty of documentation on our website. You can do your own research. There's a nice 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀 front page also with all the relevant data. Maybe I can share this also below in the chat, in the comment field of this X Spaces, so people can look for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. This is what we call taking the whole ecosystem with you, not just, moving forward, but taking everything around you forward, taking the whole, society forward in some ways. So, kudos to you for, bringing out this standard that can be much better, that can do many better things. I just love it, and it would be best if you can pin the tweet to the spaces so people can just go to that tweet and do more things. Now, let's talk about the competition. So you have already explained what your mission is, what you guys are doing. There are lots of taxes out there, especially on Ethereum. Uh, how do you differentiate yourself with those taxes uh, when you are supporting both ERC-223 and ERC-20 tokens, and what would be the benefit to your approach?
So as you just mentioned, of course, this is one of the unique features, right? The ERC-223 integration, but there are also other very important unique features this DEX brings to the table, which the other ones do not provide, basically. So the second important difference is the fully decentralized margin trading, so encapsulated margin trading, right? Uniswap and other DEXs do not provide this feature in a fully decentralized way, so there's always some kind of centralization involved. DEXs that do offer it, like Kine, for example, they are not truly decentralized and only offer a limited number of selected assets. So DEX223 promises to have many, many assets tradable, also with margin trading, encapsulated margin trading, but maybe we talk about this a little bit later. The third significant difference from other DEXs will be a very nice feature, and it's called decentralized token list, auto token listing option. So while most DEXs emphasize the decentralization in terms of traders interacting without KYC or third parties, token creators still face challenges now getting listed similar to centralized exchanges. So DEX223 aims to tackle this by providing these various token listing methods. There will be a curated lists by the developer team. There will be the possibility to integrate token lists from tokenlist.org. And there will be this completely independent, from the development independent listing method. It's the auto listing, token auto listing contract. Basically, developers can list any token by paying a small anti-spam fee. So everybody can basically list their token there without needing any permission. So that's a unique feature which sets us apart from the other DEXs. No, maybe what's also important is at DEX223, we're all about empowering our users, both the traders and the developers, and fostering also a community-driven approach to governance. So through this governance token, which you can buy now on our website, on the ICO, the D223 on Ethereum, the holders become an integral part of the decision-making process. They can vote on how high platform fees are charged. These fees include the trading fees, the listing fees, liquidity provider fees, and those, of course, associated with margin trading. Now, these fees will then also be shared with the token holders. That's a very interesting concept, no?
Yeah. So, I love permissionless listing. and I love the token, the listing model that you have built. But when I hear permissionless listing, there is this one question that always comes to my mind is regarding Oracle hacks, right? So whenever there is a permissionless less listing and you can list any token, you know, on your exchange, there is always risk of Oracle hacks, some sort of price manipulation through data manipulation, and user being able to take out huge amounts of liquidity and things like that. So, how do you make sure that security of your platform is top notch? How do you make sure that assets are secure, your users and their wallets are secure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting question. Of course, there is also a lot of risk involved with these auto lists. No, I mean, should be only used by experts. That's why we also decided to have a very flexible UI where the newbie trader can basically have another UI than the professional trader, which maybe will engage in margin trading or with all these token lists, decentralized token lists. So this is, of course, high risk business. No, so we want to cater for both the newbies and also the crypto pros, which know how to use these tools and know the risks and the upsides and downsides involved in this. No, but at DEX 223, like we're all about empowering our users. So the people can choose whether to use the ERC20 standard or the ERC223 standard. That's their decision. Security is, as I mentioned before, a core aspect with DEX 223. So DEX 223 is basically aiming to make the crypto trading world safer by implementing this ERC223 token standard, but also because it's built basically on battle-tested Solidity smart contracts and by security experts. So DEX 223 is built by security experts. Now, the DEX 223 team has a huge, significant security background. So they will adhere to the security development processes that they have found to be the most efficient over time. Dexaran, the founder and visionary behind DEX 223, co-founded the Callisto security auditing organization. And under his leadership, the auditing organization has conducted hundreds of security audits. I think it's more than 400 smart contract audits, and none of them, which was assigned safe, got ever hacked. So this is very impressive. One of the core aims of this platform is to create a high secure trading environment. Of course, there's always risks involved. The users themselves have also a lot in their hands now, basically by securing their wallet, securing their keys, maybe also using cold wallets. We feature Wallet Connect. So there's a huge amount of wallets which are possible to be used on DEX 223, including some hardware wallets. So nonetheless, we're currently investigating also the feasibility of establishing a reserve pool funds to serve as a kind of safety net in the event of unforeseen events, but this is still in the exploring phase. We prioritize, of course, the deep security audits as the code reaches finalization. So this takes still a little bit of time. In our roadmap, we disclosed that we will achieve a stable MVP by June, probably. And this is then followed by the public testing. During this crucial phase, of course, we conduct through thorough security audits and implement bug bounties to really ensure the robustness of this platform, right? Which is then planned to run on its own. Basically, as soon as the testing is finished and the debug mode is completed, these smart contracts will run on their own, and they are designed to that there is no maintenance needed. And this is also very interesting. Also, basically, nobody can stop it as soon as it runs, because it runs basically is run by Ethereum. right?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for that answer. And I really love when uh, I get a good, solid answer when I ask about security and not just some random answer. So thank you so much for being transparent. Thank you so much for sharing so much
Sure.
information with us. And yeah, I'm 100% satisfied with the info that you have given me. Now, I remember you mentioned about gas efficiency, and the only reason not all my transactions are on Ethereum is because there is just way too much gas fees from time to time. Uh, how do you make it efficient? You mentioned that there is around 15% reduction in gas fees. Uh, can you explain how do you achieve that?
Yeah, so maybe I think we touched this already, but maybe shortly. So it's not the platform itself. It only makes it possible to trade ERC-223 tokens, right? So it's the ERC-223 token standard actually, which saves you 15% of gas fees because there is no problematic approval transaction involved, which consumes also more gas. So if you use ERC-223 tokens, and the cool thing is, like 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀 invented a token converter completely free. You can wrap every ERC-20 token to ERC-223 and vice versa. So this makes it also more interesting. So you can basically use your ERC-20 tokens, wrap them in ERC-223 tokens, and enjoy the 15% less gas fees approximately.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now let's talk about features, right? So there is something called encapsulated margin trading feature on your website. Uh, Now, I'm very dumb when it comes to all, trading and that sort of thing. So can you please explain how does that work and how do user benefit from that?
Sure, sure. My pleasure. So on 𝘿𝑼𝙏𝙀 the user will have the option to create lending orders. With these orders, they can place their funds in any token and specify various details such as the interest rate, the deadline, and the permitted markets for the borrowers, and the required collateral and other configuration options. Another user then can borrow these funds from the lending order by depositing the required collateral, right? Upon entering the lending order, the borrower gains control of the borrowed funds and can engage in market trades which were allowed by the lender in these specified markets. But they won't be able to withdraw the funds from the platform. ERC-223 makes this possible. Liquidation will be implemented based on time and expected balance. For instance, if a lender provided 15 ETH at a 20% interest rate for 30 days, then by the day 30, the cumulative balance of the borrower's position must be 18 ETH, right? Or by the 15th day, it should be 16.5 ETH. So at any given moment, it's possible to calculate the expected balance and actual balance that the borrower would have if they sold all the tokens immediately, factoring in the liquidity, of course. If the actual balance doesn't match the expected balance, anyone can execute the liquidation of the borrower in exchange for a small reward specified by the lender at the time of the order creation. So liquidation triggers the market sell of all the active borrowers' positions. So in other words, this margin trading module is a smart contract that will allow users to create these lending orders by depositing their funds. And other users will be able to borrow them and work with them in the specified regions. No? In summary, 𝘿𝑼𝙏𝙀 gives a lot of control to the lenders because they can configure their orders as they like. So they have to take the risks into account and probably require also a sufficient collateral. And a lender can also disallow the trading on particularly risky trading pairs with the borrower's funds. I hope that was not too complicated, but it's a brief overview of how this will work We are currently working on new content also to explain better, also via video content, to our users and community members how this actually works. The encapsulated margin trading is known as a very safe way of margin trading because the funds never leave the platform, right, during this time.
I mean, that was a really good explanation. And, I see in your profile that you are an audiobook creator. And when you are speaking, we can, definitely hear that, you have such a good voice. So, yeah, it was uh, a really good explanation. Now, before I move on to the next question, I want to ask you, right? So, is there, let's say we have few people listening over here. Uh, uh, what would be the first action that you would want us to take if we want to join DEX 223 community, or if we want to learn more about DEX 223? What should we do as community users?
So it depends on who you are and what you are interested in, right? I mean, there are experts which already know what we are talking about, and they want to see the details, the nitty-gritty details. They want to go into GitHub. They want to see all the repos, no? And Dexeron is really transparent with those. Like there is plenty of material of DEX 223, but also Dexeron and his whole development story, history, also from the ERC 223 standard and how it came to DEX 223, no? But on the other hand, there's a very nice website. So you can go to dex223.io and you can then basically scroll through the website and read the content we have there. And then if you have specific questions, or if you're interested in the news, up-to-date news, you're always welcome to follow our Telegram channels or also the Discord channel, which we recently opened, like a new Discord server, where you can also inquire for marketing proposals and stuff like this. No, so basically we're all over the net. We have websites, we have a medium.com account where you can read deeper, get deeper knowledge basically, or you can also just read the posts on x.com where we nearly post every day about the news, where we announce AMAs and so on. And of course, also join these AMAs and prepare some questions, ask your question, and if they are not asked, if they are not answered in the AMA, you are always welcome to go to Telegram, where we have a lot of people there active and involved, and join the community, join the discussion there, ask your question there, and then ultimately visit dex223.io and get some ICO tokens, because they are still very, very cheap. You're very early. I think we reached now 1%, like we sold 1%, and there's still 200 days, but this can go really fast. Now, as soon as the message spreads and people have really confidence in this project and love the project, love the narrative behind it. It's about empowerment. It's about, the people basically also governing this platform, with their token and getting the shares and getting airdropped also new tokens from the spin up on new platforms, but maybe later to this. So yeah, you're welcome to follow us on every channel. And there is a lot you can find. Maybe afterwards you can share the links in the comments below.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Now, we have already talked about transparent listing. We have talked about margin trading, landing, and things like that. One thing that I want to ask you is, whenever you are building a DAX, whenever you are building a platform where people come and trade, it's very important to have good liquidity. It's very important to have good total value locked and things like that. Now, uh, do you have any partnership secured which would bring good amount of liquidity to the platform for users to trade, or anything like that?
Of course, we have already a plan for liquidity, but this is going to be disclosed after the ICO. There's not much I can talk about now at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, yeah, that's enough. Just having this in mind is really good enough. Now let's talk about your token. So your token is D223 token. Uh, what's its role within the ecosystem, and why should people hold it? What would they be benefited from it?
Sure. So the ICO token, you can buy it right now. The D223 token on Ethereum can be seen as the mother of all D223 tokens in the future across different chains, right? So the holders of the original D223 tokens on Ethereum, they stand to benefit from this innovative airdrop mechanism. By locking their tokens in the smart contract, they will get airdropped an equivalent amount of tokens on each new chain we deploy. So this is a very strong incentive to hold and lock the tokens on the platform to get these benefits. Furthermore, the ICO token holders have the privilege to vote on the platform fees, encompassing trading, listing, and margin trading fees. Also, this inclusive approach fosters the community engagement, and is essential, basically, in our opinion, for cultivating a sense of active participation among all our users. And of course, there is the fees, which will be redistributed among all the D223 token holders in proportion to their shares. The original D223 tokens, they were issued in November 2023 on the Ethereum mainnet. And there is 8 billion tokens of them. Maybe I can also go a little bit in the ICO details. So there are these 8 billion D223 tokens, right? The pre-sale phase 2 has been concluded already. It was a great success. All the pre-sale tokens were sold before the pre-sale timeframe ended. And on February 15, then we launched the next phase, this main ICO, where everybody can get their hands on this powerful governance token right from our website. 68% of all the tokens are allocated for this public sale. The allocation will be 3% for the pre-ICO sales, 9.5% core team allocation, also 9.5% project development and team incentivization, 10% for private investment rounds. So there is still a private sale going on where people can get the token even a bit cheaper, but they have to buy at least $5,000 of the token. So this ICO will run till September 25 or till all our tokens are sold. The price will increase gradually. From at the moment we are at 0.0009, and it will rise to 0.0013. So there is a strong incentive to get in early and grab this powerful D223 token on Ethereum, which then makes it possible to get all these benefits like a passive income, basically, if you lock your tokens on the platform, which of course also helps that people are not dumping the token instantly when it's getting listed, right? So yeah, head over to dex223.io and connect your wallet. It's really simple. You can use popular currencies like ETH, USDT, DAI, USDC, and you can connect via Wallet Connect, which is a very straightforward process. Of course, if you need help during this process, there's always somebody in the community which likes to give support. On Telegram, on Discord, I will drop the links later on in the comments for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about the roadmap and the future developments. So what are some of the major milestones that DEX223 is planning to achieve in this year? And how do you see the platform evolving over, let's say, next 5 years? So let's say, what's your vision for 5 years from now for DEX 223?
Yeah, interesting question. Of course, the roadmap is very crucial. So we recently released our first roadmap, where we outlined also our first successful milestones, basically the development, thorough testing of the ERC-223 standard. This is completed. The implementation of this token converter I talked before, so from ERC-20 to ERC-223 and back, with a user-friendly interface and free of charge. Then launching this ERC-223 front page, where you get all the relevant data about this revolutionary token standard. We also have finished the live ERC-20 losses calculator. This is very interesting when you can click on it and there is a script running and calculates all the or a lot of the losses due to ERC-20. So where are ERC-20 tokens stuck in which contract? And it shows the sum of it, and it's updated every second. Then, of course, the DEX 223 front page is ready. The website is ready. It's really nice, and take a look for yourself. And we introduced also the auto listing smart contract sample. Then, at the moment, 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀 and his developer team are working on the DEX 223 core smart contracts, the DEX 223 UI, the liquidation spot, the margin trading module, smart contract. So there's a lot of development ongoing at the moment, a very intense phase. And looking ahead to June 2024, we are anticipating the release of the DEX 223 platform, the prototype, which will introduce the DEX 223 exchange to the world, basically. So initially, the margin trading will be disabled, but the platform will already support the auto listing contracts. Following this, the team is planning to deploy DEX 223 on the testnet, initiating then the public testing stage and launching also the bug bounties to ensure this robust and secure platform. Then from June to July, we plan to release the margin trading module and also deploy this on the testnet. This will also include then the public testing of this margin trading features. And then we will also proceed to the comprehensive security audits and bug bounty programs. A very crucial point, very intensive also. And then if everything goes well with the audits and the bug bounty programs, looking ahead to August and September this year, our goal is to conduct the initial deployment of DEX 223 on the Ethereum mainnet. Yeah. So by October 2024, we aim to extend already the platform's reach by deploying it to the next chains. So planned is Binance Smart Chain, which will be much easier than the second plan EOS EVM, because EOS, as you may know, is a very different system, very secure system, and this involves a lot of research and planning. But this is the plan. So these will be the first chains, other chains we will deploy to. Following this, we will then release the deployment schedule for the other blockchain networks. There are already some confirmed networks like Arbitrum, Base, Celo, Optimism, and more, where we will deploy for sure. But in the future, it's planned to deploy on many more EVM compatible chains. Of course, each chain has its own specifications, and there's always a lot of work involved. It's not just a copy paste, but you have to adapt to the chain standards and so on. But don't want to go too deep into details. So this strategic deployment plan emphasizes this phased and meticulous approach, prioritizing the testing, the security, and of course the user experience. And we're slowly expanding the capabilities of the DEX 223 platform on various blockchains in the coming months. Looking ahead, there's big plans in store. So there's a lot of interesting things which are researched at the moment, but of course not a priority. But in the future, like it might be possible to bring traditional stocks into the platform. So letting you trade things like Google, Apple, Tesla shares alongside crypto. So we're figuring out how to do this without making a new token for each stock. Instead, we're looking into using the smart contracts in a clever way. Right now, we're focusing on finding a solid way to set fair prices for these stocks, making also sure the system can handle updates smoothly. This is, of course, very important. We are also getting ready to set up a proper legal entity for our exchange. This is something which is very important for listing and something which is done at the moment. Another cool thing we're looking into are cross-chain swaps, right? So this is, everybody talks about it. It's a bit complicated, but it basically means you can swap between different cryptocurrencies easily. So we're exploring this new technology that could make this happen, but it's also not the main focus right now. But looking ahead, this could be a thing also for the next 2 to 3, so stay tuned for that. Lastly, I mentioned it before, but tell you again, we want to boost the security by letting you make the transaction from a different device than the one you use to connect with the platform. So instead you need to connect your wallet every time. You could just scan a QR code or send it to another device to confirm this transaction. So this would make things even more safer for everyone. 𝘿𝘼𝙏𝙀 always thinks about safety, how he can improve safety, because he's very aware that the space is full of scammers and spammers, and it's really, really tough in crypto nowadays to build something secure, as you may know. But I think, and I believe strongly in 𝘿𝘼𝙏, like he's the right guy to do this. No? So our visions and future plans you can always find in the recent development report on 𝘿𝘼𝙏's medium.com account. I will share this link as well with you. So there's we're not only adhering to financial transparency, so we publish financial reports every quarter, but we are also publishing our development report, where you also have the marketing strategies and the plans and visions for the future and so on. So this is, what I can say about our future plans.
Yeah, I mean, you answered my next question as well, which was going to be about cross-chain. But yeah, I'm going to ask it anyway, because I feel that's important, and I would love to get some insights from how you guys are thinking. But before I answer that, I want to thank you, Marcus. Thank you for coming onto the spaces. It was a really good space. We loved hearing from you. I will go and check if we have any community questions. But meanwhile, I go and check that. Can you please answer? So you already mentioned that there are other chains that you are going to look to deploy. How do you select those chains? What is your criteria for selecting such chains?
That's an interesting question. So that's a really interesting question. So I think 𝘿𝘼𝙏 touched this also yesterday in our monthly recap. So of course, firstly, the chains have to be compatible with EVM, with Solidity contracts, no? But at the same time, we also focus on chains which have no major DEX yet, no? Chains to have the potential to become a new Solana or something like that, and still lacking a DEX, no? Right. So where we might have the first mover advantage, and would then be basically very present on this chain. So this is a criteria as we select chains. As I said before, so the confirmed chains for now are what I let out are also Avalanche, BSC, EOS EVM, Celo, Base, Optimism, and Arbitrum. And of course, also community members can propose new chains to deploy our DEX to. So you're very much invited to be part of this movement, join the channels, involve yourself, put some skin in the game, and let's talk about the future plans. And yeah, but more on, as I said, more on the chains and specifically which chains and blah, blah, blah. This will be disclosed after the ICO is completed, right?
Awesome. Thank you so much for that answer. I actually went through a lot of questions that we have had. I think I have asked most of those questions, but there is one question that I find very interesting is what's your revenue model? How does DEX 223 generate revenue?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And basically, I already talked about this now. Like our business model, of course, is the platform fees. No, so DEX 223 asks for trading fees for every trade, and initially it's established around 0.15%. But this fee is dynamic and will be subject to alterations determined then also by the consensus of the D223 token holders via voting mechanism. So basically the people themselves vote how the platform generates fees also, but also how it shares these fees then with the community of holders. Furthermore, there's also these additional fees which may be applied to the auto listing contracts and for the margin trading activities. Exactly. That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, awesome, Marcus. Thank you so much for joining the spaces today. We really loved hearing from you and loved hearing about DEX 223. It was really educational. We learned about ERC 223, how DEXs work, and what you guys are doing. We are really excited to see how you guys develop and make this space a better place. Do you have any last messages for the community before we sign off?
Sure. So yeah, thank you also for this great questions you brought up today. So it was really interesting also for me to conduct this interview today. So maybe as concluding words, I can say our goal here is to create the most flexible DEX for the pros and for the newbies, enabling user and token dev to choose between using these ERC20 tokens without the problems or the revolutionary ERC223 standard, right? So the users can choose, they can try out, and they will see that it's much better, much safer, and much more effective. Now, 15% less gas fees, this is very substantial. Yeah, I want to note that again, the public of ICO has started. You're welcome to visit our website, dex223.io. Get the mother of all D223 tokens there, the governance token on Ethereum. The tokens will be cheaper at the beginning and the price will gradually increase. So get in early. And if you have questions, always reach out to our social media channels. But be aware, there are already scammers out there. They try to mimic our accounts. This is, of course, a problem, but we're tackling it. So if you find a wrong site, then report it and visit our official site. So it's on Twitter, it's dex_223. The username on Telegram, it's dex223_DeFi. And our discussion channel. And on Discord, I'm not sharing the Discord link now, it's too complicated, but I will share it in the comments. So thanks for letting me share this DEX223's vision with this great community. Let's make it a reality. So please follow us, shout it from the rooftops, enter the discussion. Like, this is more than just a platform, right? This is going to be a movement empowering the token holders and the developers alike. So join us in shaping this decentralized future for true financial freedom. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining the spaces today. Everyone who is listening, we Thank you for giving us your time and listening to us on these spaces. If you are listening here live or if you are listening later, uh, thank you for joining. We do these spaces every week. We will see you next week. Until then, goodbye.